Hey everyone, SW Nation here, and welcome back to a brand new Arrowverse video here in the channel. I like to stop and take the time to rank every Team Legend member, ranked from the worst to the best. Please know that everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion. My list is certainly not the right list. It is just my list, and you are free to comment down below your ranking of every Team Legend member ranked from worst to best, just like me, or you could just do your favorite. Like, comment, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into the ranking. Kicking off our list at number 24, we have Mona Wu. Now, the thing about Mona is that she's annoying. I mean, I'm sure that the actress is a sweet person. She's a fascinating person in real life, but I just feel like the way that they wrote her character is just annoying and not at all interesting. At number 23, we have Gary Green. Now, the thing about Gary is that some of the stuff that he does is kind of funny, but it's like a haha he Gary did something stupid type of funny. It's not one of those things where like it's intellectually funny or it's like just essentially funny comedy stuff. No, it's stupid slapstick comedy. It's very lazy with Gary, and honestly, I just feel like he doesn't really need to be inside of the show at all. You take him out of the show would not change. And plus, he just makes the most idiotic mistakes ever. At number 22, we have Hawkman. Now, I think Hawkman, on paper, has an interesting idea. That all of the groundwork is there. They just did not pay it off that very well inside of Legends. And Legends is actually the show that he should have gotten some of the spotlight, because his power is actually essentially dealing with time. But they really didn't do that, and he just became off as boring and uninteresting. At number 21, we have Hawkgirl. Now, Hawkgirl is actually... She's a little bit better than Hawkman because they put a lot more spotlight on her more, but I still think that she's annoying and not one of the best characters on Legend. But that's all I really have to say about her. I mean, I liked her when she was in a relationship with Ray Palmer because it actually was true to the comics, but now I just feel like, you know what, since they took her and Hawkman out of the show hasn't really changed that much. Clicking off my top 20 list has got to go to Zari Tarazi 2.0. Now, this is actually the Zari that I think is the second Zari after they changed the timeline in season 4. And she's okay. I mean, I guess she kind of helped the Legends out a little bit. You know, she was kind of like that cliche, social media personality, which is not really cliche because a lot of people on social media actually do things that she does. But I just feel like, what she really needed here, was it just to keep the actress around? I guess it was. But don't get me wrong, she plays both parts of Zari perfectly well. I just feel like, she's at the bottom of my list. Nothing wrong with her, just think she's at the bottom. At number 19, we have Bayrat Tarazi. Now, at the end of season 4, when he came and took the place of Zari Tarazi 1.0, I thought, why is this character here? Who is this character? And I actually thought that I was not going to enjoy him. I was wrong. I actually enjoyed this character. He's actually more fascinating than the other characters that I have higher on this list. I just think that, like Zari Tarazi 2.0, there's nothing wrong with him. I just think that he's lower on my list. At number 18, we have Charlie. Now, I do love this actress, and I'm actually glad that she came back to play this new character called Charlie, which is a shapeshifter. But I do think that in season 5, she kind of got a little bit more spotlight because of the fact that she is one of the Fates. And in my opinion, the Fates were actually great villains. Not a lot of people think that. They wasn't really set up as well, but this Fate was set up well. I feel like, reflecting on season 4, her character is just a whole lot better in where she came from, why she's running, and who she is. At number 17, we have Leo Snart from Earth X. Now, besides from giving a little bit more character development for McRory's character, what else did he do here besides help the Legends and also help Team Flash and also help during Crisis on Earth X? I do think that he's a great character. I do think that he's a good Captain Cold. The only difference is that he's gay, but that doesn't really matter in this situation. So I really don't have that much to say about Leo, except for I'm glad that the actor came back. At number 16, we have Nora Dark. It's kind of unclear to me where Nora came from. I thought she was a child in season 4 of Arrow, but I guess due to Flashpoint, she became an adult. Or Damien Dark went forward in time, took that Nora Dark out of that reality, and brought her to his. Anyway, I don't think Nora would have ever worked without her father. I don't think if she was just introduced as the daughter of Damien Darhk, I don't think she ever would have worked as great as she did, because she doesn't have that baggage of her father, or she doesn't have that great character that her father is inside of DC Legends. So I honestly feel like Nora, she's okay. I like her little relationship with Ray Palmer. I like her relationship with his father now. And also, she became, a fairy godmother? I mean, as weird as the show is, I wasn't mad at it. At number 15, we have Kid Flash. Now, I've already said everything that I loved about Kid Flash inside of my Flash version of this video. But I think in DC Legends, Kid Flash, they didn't really know what to do with him in the Flash show. So I guess they just dumped him on Legends. I think it was okay that they did that. I wasn't mad at it. But I do think that he acted a little bit more childish here, and not at all as great as he was in the Flash series. At number 14, we have Gideon. Now, Gideon may not be, the best team member because she is just an AI. But in some episodes, she is in human form, and I guess she can make a synthetic body for herself. And I think she chose the right body. I mean, Gideon is hot, dude. I don't know what you want me to say. Gideon is hot. She's smart. That's it. Gideon is just a great member of the Legends. Very sarcastic too. At number 13, we have Ava Sharp. Now, when this character was first introduced inside of the series, she was this stuck-up agent of some sorts, and then she became this, this funny character. Well, she's not really that funny. It's a lot of comedy around her character because she is a clone. She's not really a real person. She's just a clone. But I do think that she has a lot more potential. And I feel like they keep working with this character, taking on the leader role a little bit. I feel like she could be amazing. At number 12, we have Astra. Now, at least something good came out of the Constantine show, which is Astra. Now, in the show, I think she was a child because her soul was damned to hell. But I think just it's a fascinating idea on paper and on screen to have a character that's soul has been damned to hell and actually lived in hell for most of all of her life, and then just to have this human connection between her mother and this connection between Constantine. And I think that's what makes her character so great to me. At number 11, we have Amaya Jiwei. Nate, you made the correct choice because of the fact that she is one of the hottest characters inside of the show, but also she is the one that has one of the best character arcs inside of the show also, because of the fact that she is the protector of her village. She has to protect her village, which makes for a nice little conflict between her and her love life, her responsibility and her love life. She wants to protect this family in Africa while also wanting to be there for her family on the Wave Rider. It makes for a nice little conflict between her, and she's split between two worlds. And, I get it. And also, I just think that they just need to introduce another Vixen, because Vixen was a great addition to Legends. Real quick, before I get into my top 10, I'd like to take the time to say that if you are a fan of the Arrowverse, which you probably are, that's why you're watching this video, click that playlist up above for everything Arrowverse related that I have on my channel. Also, if you are a fan of the MCU, I am doing an MCU rewatch on my podcast. It's called The Regular Podcast, and that link is always in the description and in the comment section. And we will be uploading Captain America Civil War on Monday. So without further ado, let's get into my top 10. Kicking off my top 10 list has got to go to Constantine. Now, I find there's nothing wrong with this character besides the fact that he is a little bit creepy, a little bit nasty, but, dude, I'm fine with it. This was the perfect show for him to be in after his own show bombed, in my opinion. I really did not enjoy his own show. I really did not enjoy his first season, but I do believe that when you put this type of side character inside of this show with all these other weird characters and weird things happening inside of the show, it makes for a nice character for Constantine. And even with season 4 being mostly Constantine seasons, that's one of my criticisms with it. But I do enjoy the fact that we get more spotlight on Constantine because of how trash his show was. At number 9, we have Zari Tarazi 1.0. She is a great character. I really enjoy her character. Sometimes, it's kind of embarrassing for her because she gets shut down so many times by Sarah or even Mona. But, I'm fine with her. She's a great character. There's nothing wrong with her. There's nothing wrong with this Zari or the other Zari. I think the actress plays them both perfectly well. I love her character arc dealing with her and her brother, trying to get her brother back. And she's someone that is helping the Legends for her own gain. But in the end, she trusts the Legends and they become her new family now, and I really enjoy that. And number 8 is gotta go to Nate Haywood / Steel. Steel is one of those characters that you don't really see him turn into Steel, really. I mean, he's just Nate Haywood at the first, and then even later on, he's still Nate Haywood. And I honestly don't have a problem with that. He's one of the funniest characters inside of the show. Yeah, sometimes he may be a bumbling idiot, but at the end of the day, he gets the job done, and he's also a very smart historian. I mean, people forget that about Nate. Inside of the first season that he was in, like season 2, I guess that's why a lot of people like him, because everybody was basically smart in that season. But Nate was actually a smart historian and was very intelligent on the battlefield. And even in season 3, he was smart then. I think it wasn't until season 4 / season 5 where he became one of those bumbling idiots. But even then, in my opinion, I feel like it works. At number 7, we have Jax Jefferson. Now, I think that this character is just amazing. I really love his character arc and the way that he interacts with Martin Stein as a whole. And the actor plays this part of Firestorm perfectly well because of the fact that he's unsure about himself. He doesn't know if he can do things. He doubts himself. He's just like us. He's human. And I think when you're in a world full with superheroes, with Supergirl flying around, with the Flash running up and down the streets, with the Green Arrow shooting people with arrows, and with the Atom flying around in a suit, and even with you being a fire hero linked with a professor, it's great to have human connections and human emotions. And the way the actor plays him, the way Jax is inside of the show, just makes his character great. And number 6, we have Martin Stein. Yes, I did have him lower on my list for Flash. Here I don't, because I do love him better in Legends. I feel like he works a whole lot better because of his relationship with Jax. In The Flash, we don't really get to see much of that relationship with Jax until, I think, 1 episode. And even then, when he was with Ronnie, I didn't find that much of a great brotherhood connection. But in this show, they put him and Jax's brotherhood connection in the forefront, and it makes so much sense. And just when Martin Stein dies, it's just one of the most emotional scenes inside of the entire Arrowverse, and it's very emotional to Jax. And I don't think we could have had that emotional scene if we didn't resonate with this character on a personal level and on a human level, while also resonating with both him and his relationship to Jax. Kicking off my top 5 list has got to go to Leonard Snart. A lot of people love this character. Me personally, I love this character too. I mean, I love the guy's overacting. It's just, he's alright. I mean, he has a nice little anti-hero balance, and I think that it works in Legends because this is a team of heroes and villains. And plus, Captain Cold, he does a lot of things for himself. And he always has a plan to something. He always knows something. He's one of the greatest villains inside of the Arrowverse because of the fact that he's not really menacing, but he's intelligent. And he has such a deep human backstory that you can relate to, but you kind of don't want to because he is a villain at the start. But when we get inside of Legends and get to see more of him, more of his human side, more of his relationship with Mick Rory, I find his character fascinating. At number 4, we have Mick Rory. This is one of the original characters and actually the original team members that are still on the team to this day. And I honestly feel like they underuse Mick Rory. All he does in each episode is eat sandwiches, or he's always eating something, or he's always drinking beer. I feel like they just underuse his character so much. And in season 5, they gave him a little bit of a character arc. Even in season 3, season 2, season 1, he had such a great character arc in all those 4 seasons, except for season 4. And I personally enjoy season 4. But come on, man. They couldn't have gave him something better than do to just sitting around and eating and burping and drinking all day long. In season 5, he has a great character arc with him meeting his daughter and him trying to be a part of her life. And I think that that's just powerful because this is a guy that wants to be there for his daughter. He's changed. He's grew throughout his whole life, and I feel like he's now ready to accept the fact that he has a daughter and he wants to be there for her. I feel like that's a great character arc for him, and also with his relationship with Leonard Sennard. It just makes for a nice, interesting character, but they just underuse him so much that he has to come in at number 4. Kicking off my top 3 list has got to go to the Atom. The Atom, he was underused in season 4 and 5. And a little bit of 3. I feel like he wasn't really inside of the Atom suit as much. I love his relationship with Nora Dark. That's actually perfect because of the fact that Nora Dark is played by his wife in real life, played by Brandon Routh's wife, Courtney. But I do think that Ray Palmer was actually underused in Legends. He was greater, he was better in Arrow, but then we get inside of Legends, he just becomes a bumbling idiot. In the first season, he was good. In the second season, he was great. Third season, good again. Fourth season, And the reason why I say he was in the first season is because he wasn't inside of the suit as much. And he just wasn't as smart as he was in the first seasons of Arrow that he was in. And plus, they just wrote him out of the show in an unsatisfying way. And I feel like if they would have never done that, I would have had him higher on my list. Though this is pretty high because of the character development that we had for him in the first seasons of DC Legends and in the seasons that he was in Arrow. Just did not work here in the Legends in the last 2 seasons that he was in. Our runner-up at number 2 has got to go to Rip Hunter. Rip Hunter was a great character when he was inside of the show. He just made for a nice backstory. He had a nice backstory. It made sense for him to recruit this team of nobodies to become legends. Everything about his character just made sense except for the part about him being evil in season 2. I mean, I'm not a big fan of that, but, whatever. He was a great villain. I mean, he wasn't a great villain, but he was an okay villain in my opinion. And I do think Rip Hunter just needs to come back into the show one way or another because he was just so fascinating and he's the one that held the show together and he was the thing that kept the team together. Rip Hunter has to come in at number 2, but he's pushing that number 1 spot. But coming in at my number 1 has got to go to the White Canary. Sarah Lance has such a great backstory, has such a great character because of the fact that she has so much character development in Arrow, and they moved that into Legends. Everything that was about her character in Arrow, everything is still there. She's still the same broken person. She's still the same person that has lost mostly everything, and even when coming into season 5, she is a character that has lost the only tie to her past life. And I just find that to be one of the most fascinating and the most interesting and the best character arc inside of DC Legends. And she's just such a great person with all this trauma and her past behind her. And she just wants to do everything to redeem her name and set everything right. And no matter how much good she does, it's just not enough. So she has to keep fighting. And I just find that great. Just great material on paper and especially on screen. So the White Canary, Sarah Lance, has to come in at number 1. Alright guys, that is it for the ranking. Please know that everything that I did say in this video is just my very own opinion. My list was certainly not the right list. It was just my list, and you're free to comment down below your ranking of every Team Legends member ranked, or you could just do your favorite. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.